I love this question so much I stopped what I was doing. What's your definition of fighting and boxing? I say the same thing, but I have a hard time articulating it to my students. So I break boxing down in three different categories. To define it, the definition, the example, and then context. And in between is nuance, and that's particular to the situation. So when I explain what boxing is, I explain it as the full spectrum of what the sport is and the science behind the sport. So a lot of times people will say boxing just as a sport, but not as a functionality within the science and tool set in boxing that you could use within that playing field. So when somebody says, I outboxed you, or this boxer outboxed you, that means they outsmarted you. They use their tools and the fundamentals and techniques that they know to be able to deal with the situation as fluidly and effortlessly as possible. It's as simple as that, but sometimes it's a little bit harder to explain when somebody isn't in that space and is still trying to grasp that concept. So when you outbox somebody, it's naturally outsmarting somebody. People really understand that to even the most simplest degree. But when you say it's time to fight, if I tell my boxer it's time to fight, he's the purest boxer, technician, whatever, I'm like, it's time to fight, it's time to get it. Because all the time a boxer can't just outbox every fighter. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure fighters that get to the boxer to where you have to do nothing but fight. So when I explain what fighting is, it's like almost a no holds barred within that playing field, within that space legality of the sport of boxing, as far as what you can do. Not, oh, you're gonna throw knees and elbows and kick them in the head or something, but it's like it's time to get down and time to get with it. So you throwing everything you got. Somebody smack your mom in the face, what are you gonna do? You're not going to try to box them. You're going to try to take their head off. Take their head off immediately. So understand, like when I have boxers on the bags and I'm like, all right, let's get it. 30 seconds, fight. I'm talking about just throwing punches and punches and punches and punches. There's no tempo. There's no timing. There's no rhythm. It's everything. Everything and anything. Throw 15 left hooks and then a right. Whatever. But you have to be able to conceptualize each situation, each scenario. Sometimes it's you're fighting the whole 3 minutes. Sometimes it's in spurts. Sometimes you tap, tap. Now you're boxing, get back to fighting. Pa, 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 pa. Punching and moving at the same time. Not just staying in one spot, but punching and moving and throwing shots, however the case may be. But there's no tempo or timing. There's no border around fighting. It's like, go get it. Be a dog. Bite they neck off. You know what I mean? So when I explain fighting, boxing, there's a sophisticated understanding when you box. When you outbox something, when you outbox somebody, when you're boxing somebody, there's a sophistication in what you do. When you fight somebody, it's, you know, you getting it and it looks ugly. Fighting looks ugly. It doesn't look pretty. Not all the time, at least. Sometimes it looks beautiful, but a lot of times when you fight, it looks pretty ugly. And kind of how I like to explain it is like UFC. Within that realm and space, it's a lot of ugly fighting that goes on, but they be getting it. And then within boxing, you could see it with anybody that's real poised, got their fundamentals intact. They almost look like air can't touch them. You know what I mean? So that's how I explain it just a little bit more. But those three different ways: definition, example, context, and the nuance within the realm and space of boxing.